How's it going, guys? I'll be doing another tutorial today, and I'll be using GIMP. This is my go-to for more heavy edits when I want more of a control over what I'm doing. So I'll just speed through the process, but essentially I'll just show you how I went from this original image right here and took it to the image that you saw initially. So far what I've done with this, I just took out the cart, as you can see right there. So I took the card out, and now I'm going to go ahead and change the brightness, modify things a little bit. So just real quickly, the inspiration for this photo was actually from one of my favorite photographers on Flickr that I follow. So he does these high contrast landscape shots. So he actually has something similar to this with a train moving through. So I'm going to be trying to replicate that with the high contrast black and white. So the first step was just kind of editing the picture a little bit more to my taste, taking out some artifacts. And now what I'm doing, I'm creating a gradient with this. With this on GIMP, you use the blend tool. And when you use the blend tool, you select over on the left side where you want what color you want your blending to be. And how long your line is kind of determines how harsh that gradient is. I have mine pretty long, that's why the gradient is as it is. As you just saw, as I showed a little bit, that's the when I had the shorter line, it made the gradient harder. So I want the train right here to be the center of focus. So how I do this, I'm just gonna make the circle, this ellipse right here. And with that, I'll fill in the color with white. When you do this, it's just gonna highlight only that portion. And I'm actually gonna change the layer mode from normal a to overlay. That way it just kind of brightens that area and doesn't make it this kind of cloudy look. Um, so when you do that, it's just really simple. Make your oval and make sure you your background is set to white or whatever color it is you want. After you do this, you want to change your opacity and kind of tweak it to your liking. As you can see right now, the edge is really sharp. To take care of that, you're just going to go to blur and you're going to do a Gaussian blur. With this, I usually use a pretty high blur when I'm doing these type of uh, edits. So I'll go for somewhere in the hundreds, 300 or so. It's a pretty large image file. But with this, it just smoothens out that edge that you have right there and makes everything blend in nicely, kind of like our gradient right there. So that's going to take care of itself. I'm actually going to do double of this. So right there on the center, and I'm going to do one more over that to kind of give it this gradiated, if you will, look. So where the center is more bright compared to the outside, and it just kind of spreads out. So that's what I'm doing right now. You just fill it, and it's the same process again. Once you have that done, you just kind of tweak the brightness to whatever you like. And once you like the way it looks, then you're on your way. So that's the next step. So as you can see right now, you can see the separation between the two circles that I just made. So I'm just going to change the opacity on these. And I'm actually going to tweak the blur once again, Gaussian blur. The nice thing about GIMP, you can easily just go in the blur or in the image section to edit where you find your blur, and you just click on redo blur, and it'll just take whatever setting you had last and puts that setting on that image again. So I'll just smoothen that out and make the middle blur kind of fade into the background a little bit more. So I'm actually liking the way it's looking so far. the center is brighter and more highlighted than the outside. Just to kind of increase this and make the effect a little bit stronger, I'm actually going to do a vignette with this. I open a new layer, same thing with the oval tool. This is going to be similar to what I just did on the train initially. You make your ellipse or your circle oval, whatever you want to call it, to your taste. And once that's done, you're going to actually invert the selection. So just click edit on the select portion and then invert. And then I'm filling this. I want um, a black vignette. You can do a white vignette if you want. So in order to do the black vignette, you just fill the background with your with black. So you see you have that circle now. Same thing you go over again. Since I already had the setting done for the inside, I'll just use the same setting for this area for the blur, for my Gaussian blur. So I'll just redo that and tweak the opacity. Always, if you don't like how smooth it looks, the transition is, you can always just change your Gaussian blur setting and tweak the opacity to your liking. Another quick thing I forgot to mention, when you're doing your Gaussian blur, make sure you select none. Undo your selection. Maybe make sure you're not selected on that area, because if you do, that line is still going to maintain. But when you remove that selection, it allows it to blur throughout the entire image. So like I said, my intention was to have this be a high contrast black and white image. So I'm just going to go on there and desaturate and see how things are looking. So you can see you have the outside being darker than the inside, which is the effect I wanted to really draw your eyes into the train, which is the subject right there. I'm using the different ones just to see how it looks. So I think it looks pretty good. So I'll just go in, do a few more things. I want to highlight these areas. So I'm just painting over these areas with black on a new layer. So open a new layer, put it at the top, and I'm just painting over the dark areas with black. It's just going to make these darker also. And I'm going to paint over the brighter parts with white. And it's the same principle that we used before with blending on the center with the train. I'm just going to use an overlay for the layer property, and with that it's going to highlight those areas and darken the areas that I have black, so the white areas will be brighter and the dark areas will be darker. Quick tip with this, you just click on the point you want while holding the shift. It's going to make this line, and then you just click on the end and it creates a straight line for you. This is also something you can do. I'm just going to go in here, use orange. Light, some lights have more of a yellowish tint to it. I know the color is going to be a little bit muted, more muted when I put the overlay setting on. So I'm making it orange rather than yellow, so it's not like straight up white. So if this is going to be a colored image, that's one thing you can do. So here's your before and after. This is the after, obviously, after we've gone through all that process. This is the before. Wait till it loads up, just to kind of show how things went. Remember, first step we did, remove the train tracks, switch the brightness a little bit, then we made the gradient, and the effect I was going for was to highlight the center. So pretty much if you have something where you want to just highlight a portion of it, make it brighter than the outside or whatever, this is a nice instruction to take. Take it and make it your own. Same principles are going to follow. You're going to be making different center points using the oval tool, and you're going to blend those, and then you're also going to change the opacity. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Use it to your liking. Bye.